Hello, how are you? Uh, I do hope everyone can hear me clearly. I'm just going to stop sharing for some minutes now to check. Yeah, my sound is fine and my video is fine. Yes. So, welcome to Sense and Sensibility with Denike. This is Denike, and you are seeing my face. For everyone that has been following me on podcast, you're seeing my face for the first time, and this is how we're going to be doing it every last Friday in the month. So in the month of four weeks, so 3 weeks will just be on audio podcast, and then the final week you'll be seeing my face. The final Friday you'll be seeing my face. So compliment of the season. Welcome to the end of the year. December is almost over. When did we start? When did we begin? And everyone was looking forward to Christmas. Everyone was looking forward to the end of the year. And now here we are, December 29th. So when I came your way last week, I told you that my house then, my home was filled with people, families coming around to come celebrate Christmas together. But now the home is empty. Everyone's gone back to their base. And we're all looking forward to the new year in our respective places. So how was your Christmas? How did you spend your Christmas? I asked someone, how her Christmas went, and then she told me that it was quiet, just in the family at home with the husband and the kids, and that was cool. That was fine. So for you, how was Christmas for you? How did Christmas go for you? I enjoyed my Christmas. I had time to rest, a lot of cooking, a lot of eating, and some visitations here and there. So today on Sense and Sensibility, we're looking at, are you set for 2024? So are you set for 2024? Are you ready to hit 2024? Are you set for 2024? Are you ready to hit the ground running in 2024? Do you have your timeline mapped out? Do you know what you want to do per month, per week, every day in 2024? Are you ready to know? Are you ready? Do you know what you want to do in 2024 already? So I'm here to ask you, are you set? And in case you're not set, I've got some things to share with you. But before I go into that, let me share, the political news that I bring your way on Sense and Sensibility. So the latest news, international politics for this week, is that there will be so many elections in 2024. So many. Yes, a lot of elections will be taking place in 2024 across the world. So we're going to kickstart the year with elections in Bangladesh, and that's coming up on the 7th of January. So on the 7th of January, people in Bangladesh will be going to the booths to vote, and the Taiwanese people will be going to the booth on the 13th of January. So Taiwan elections, 13th of January. And then on the 28th of January, the Finnish people in Finland will be having their own elections. And I think in the month of March, yes, March 17th, the Russian people will be having their elections. So will Putin still be the president after March? We'll have to wait to find out. So there will be a lot of elections coming up in the year 2024, and that brings about a lot of unpredictability. Elections periods are always periods that are topsy-turvy, so many things happening. But before I move on this morning, let me give you one other news that happened in Russia this week. So with all the trouble going on in Russia and Ukraine, some people are still partying. So I came across this news that says almost naked celebrity party triggers backlash in wartime Russia. So with the war going on, some people are still having party in Russia, having a nice time, and they called it almost naked, as in, if you can come naked to the party, you are free to come. Can you imagine that kind of thing? And then I have it here that Even the hosts of the party had a chain around her waist, an emerald studded chain around her waist. And this chain, guess what, is worth $251,000. I kid you not. It's there on the internet. $251,000 chain. And people were outraged. They were like, with the things going on in Russia now, some cannot even afford to eat with the austerity going on. So it just amazes you that there can be war going on in some places, and then not too far from the neighborhood, some people are partying and having a nice time. They are not even thinking about the effects of their actions on their neighbors, be it individual neighbor or neighbor as a country. So even the Russian people have been talking about this, making noise. And so the people who organized the party, they are apologizing, saying that they are sorry. And then they said that the woman, the host, they're asking her to pay $10.9 million back. Guess what? She should pay back for something called moral suffering. Moral suffering. So she's to pay the $10.9 million back. And if she pays the $10.9 million back, then the money will be used to take care of the soldiers at war. So that's that with the political news for today. Let us go into what I have for you in Sense and Sensibility with Denike. So our agenda for today, we are looking at the following. What is a new year? And I don't know if you've even asked yourself that question before. We'll be hearing new year, new year, new year. So what exactly is a new year? Why is a year called the new year? And then how can you be set for a new year? And then of course we'll close. Sense and Sensibility today will be taking more minutes than I normally take. So it used to go for 15 minutes, but for today we'll be going more than 15 minutes because of all that I have to give to you. So the first thing on the list is, what is a new year? Let's talk calendars. Yes, let us start from there. So we have different types of calendars. There is the lunar calendar, there is the solar calendar, and there is the lunisolar calendar. So the lunar calendar is a way of counting days and grouping months based on Earth months. So that's why it's called lunar calendar. The days and the months in the year are calculated based on the moon. And that's why I think one calendar that operates that way is the Islamic calendar. So have to see the moon, or they celebrate some festivals and things like that. I'm going to be going off for a while. Just give me a moment. I'm going to stop sharing now. Yeah. I'll be right back. Okie dokes. So the Islamic calendar is an example of the lunar calendar because they have their festivals based on the moon. When they see the moon, they know that's time. And there are some instances where if they don't see the moon, they don't celebrate their festivals. And also there are some instances where Okay, for everyone that follows me on Sense and Sensibility, I am going to tell you something about today. It might not be right away. I might not tell you about it today. If I do remember, I will. But if I don't, I'll tell you in subsequent episodes of Sense and Sensibility. But let's go on, because I have a whole lot to share with you today. So, the Islamic calendar is an example of the lunar calendar. And then we have the solar calendar. The solar calendar is a way of counting days and grouping days based on the Earth, on our sun's rotation around the stars. So the Gregorian calendar, which I'm going to tell you about very soon, is an example of the solar calendar. And then we have the lunisolar calendar. From the name, you know that it's a combination of lunar calendar and the solar calendar. And so here I have two types of calendars. Now don't forget that that's what we're talking about here is what is a new year. So we have something called the Julian calendar, called after the name of Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was the one that created the Julian calendar, and that's why it's called Julian calendar. And then we also have the Gregorian calendar, that was in a way created by Pope Gregory XIII. And so because he took a major part in the creation, the calendar is called Gregorian calendar. And then there are other types of calendars, but these are the two major ones. And the Julian calendar was used from 1st January 45 BCE. BCE means before Christ era or before the Common Era, up until 4th October 1582. And so by 1582, the Gregorian calendar was created and it's being used from the 15th of October 1582 up until now. That's what we're still using now. I don't want to go into too much details about the difference between the Julian calendar and the Gregorian calendar, but basically it's the Gregorian calendar was created because there was a slight difference between the number of days in a year. Let me move on because of time, right? So the first time that the new year was created was in the year 2000 BCE, in the month of March. You heard me right. New Year was created in the year 2000 BCE in the month of March. That was the first time New Year was celebrated, and that was the time it was created. And it took place in Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is present-day Iran. Somewhere you have Turkey there, you have Kuwait there, but Iran basically, that was where the first New Year in the world was celebrated, mid-March. But now we're celebrating New Year January 1st. So under the Julian calendar, New Year was moved around, which is another reason why the Gregorian calendar was created. So New Year was moved around. There was a time when New Year was March 1st, when New Year was March 25th, when New Year was Easter period. The way Easter is being moved around now, and I'm coming, there was a time when New Year was September 1st. In this our world, yes. And there was a time when New Year was December 25th, that we are now celebrating Christmas in. Take a look at Easter, right? Easter moves around, the dates moves around. Easter in 2020 was, let me see that. I think Easter in 2020 came up in the month of April, maybe April 12. Let me check that out quickly. So Easter, yes, Easter in 2020 came up in the month of April. Yeah, it was April. Now April was, thank you, April 12th. Easter was April 12th in 2020. In 2021, Easter was also April 4th in 2021. So note that in 2020 it was April 12th. In 2021 it was In 2022, it was April 17. Do you notice how the date has been moving around? In 2023, Easter was, I think it was March this year. March 31st or so. Okay, no, Easter was 9th of April. So that means in 2024, Easter is going to be 31st of March. Yeah. So the way Easter was moving around, Easter this year was April. Easter in the last 4 years, has been April 19, April 12, April 17, April 4. But Easter in 2024 is coming up 31st of March. Now, the way Easter moves around is the way the New Year was also moving around under the Julian calendar. And that was one of the reasons why we also changed to the Gregorian calendar, amongst other things, so that we can have a particular date for Easter. That being said, we still have some cultural New Years and we have some civil New Year. So January 1st, we have the civil calendar. January 1st of any year up until 31st December is a civil calendar, right? So January 1st is the first day in the civil calendar. But there are some other New Years too, if you look at the screen. So the Chinese New Year is not coming up 1st of January 2024. The Chinese New Year is coming up 10th of February 2024. Yes, they are in the world and they are a part of the world. And because they are in the world and a part of the world, that means that they are going to be alive January 1st. That's typical. Everybody is in the world. But for their own, the Chinese people, their own New Year is February 10, 2024. The Cambodians, their own New Year is coming up April 13th. So that one could be April 13th or April 14th, something around that period. It's either April 13th or April 14th. That's when the Cambodian people will be having their New Year. In Ethiopia, they are having their New Year on the 11th of September 2024. Yes, they are in the world. January 1st, everybody is entering a year. For some people, it's a new year. For some other people, it's actually the continuation of a year, because until they get, take for instance the Ethiopian people, until they get to September 11th, it's not a new year for them yet. So that is their own new year. And in Israel, the new year is coming up on the 25th of September. That's the Israelis' new year. And at the bottom right there, you see the Martian New Year. So Mars, the scientists have also gone as far into space, and they've landed on Mars. That's still news. And we also have the Celebrate New Year's on Mars now. And so the New Year in Mars for 2024 is coming up November 12th. Right? And it's called MY38. So it's not 2024. Their own New Year is Mars year, Mars year 38. It's coming up on the 12th of November. But the thing is, January 1st wasn't always the beginning of the year. You need to understand that. In your being set for the new year, in getting ready for the new year, you need to understand that January 1st was not always the beginning of a year. But now it is. There's always a time when people get into the new year. So the year changes, but you are the constant person in the new year. You are always constant. You are the same person in the new year over and over again. So why is a year called a new year? Tell us. Why is a year called a new year? A year is called a new year because it is new. It is brand new. That's why a year is called a new year. it is brand new. It is a brand new year. When you look at synonyms for the word new, you can say it is a fresh year. You can say it is. I'm looking for synonym for new now. For new. Okay, recent. Yes, it's a recent year. It's a fresh year. It's the beginning year, but new sounds more like it. New year. So it is a new year. That's why the year is called a new year, right? You don't want to call it a sad year. You don't want to call it a bad year. You don't want to call it an unhappy year. No, it is a new year. It is a new year. It is new. It is the word new now that is the thing that we're looking at here. Another reason why a year is called a new year is because the year we are entering into has never been entered into ever before in the course of of human existence, whether before Christ or after Christ. 2024 is new. No one has ever lived 2024 before. So that's why a year is called a new year. The year is new. The year itself that we are entering into is new, so it's called a new year. Now moving on to the main gist of the day. How can you be set for a new year? Wow. There are many ways you can be set for a new year, right? And one way you can be set is in your mindset. Another way is your life plans, then finance, then relationship, then your spirituality, right? I'm not here today to talk about resolutions. No. Mm-mm. Guess what? Statistics has declared that resolutions fail, 90% of resolutions fail within a few months of entering into the year. So I'm not here to talk to you about resolutions. I'm just here to tell you how you can be set for a new year, amidst other things. So let's get into it. When you look at the word mindset, it's a combination of two words, mind and set. So mind plus set gives you mindset. Your mind is not your brain. Your brain is somewhere here in your head. No. So your mind is not your brain, but your mind is your intellect. It's something you use to think, something you use to reason, and it can be divided into three. We have the conscious mind, we have the subconscious mind, and then we have the unconscious mind, right? So I'm speaking to you right now and you're listening to me. You're doing that. We are doing that with our conscious minds. Okay, so I'm speaking to you with my conscious mind. I'm aware of what I'm talking about. I'm looking into the screen. You're looking back at me. You're listening to me. You can hear me. For those who are not seeing me right now, you can hear me. You're doing that with your conscious mind. When you are aware of your environment, aware of your surroundings, you're doing that with your conscious mind. But when you're sleeping, that is when your unconscious mind is at work, right? Because some of us, when we sleep, we dream, right? We dream, we have dreams. And some dreams are even so real, that when you wake up, you're like, my goodness, you mean I was dreaming? Yeah, that was your unconscious mind at work. And then we have the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind. So data has it that every day about 72,000 stimuli comes at us. Every day, 72,000 stimuli. So being here right now, I can hear the AC blowing, I'm speaking, I'm looking at the screen, I can see the lights around me, I'm conscious of the plants, behind me. My phones are here, I'm aware of my surroundings. So there are so many things that I'm conscious of at the same time. But the one thing I'm focused on right now, I'm focused on you. I'm speaking to you. I'm doing that with my conscious mind, and I'm aware of other things with my subconscious mind. And then when you sleep, some things that your subconscious mind has seen and kept aside comes alive through your unconscious mind. That's why it seems as if some of us, we have something called deja vu. So when you look at the word set is for something to form. For something to, when you're determined. When they say she is set in her ways, she is set. Her mind is made up. When you're settled, when you're building a house and you're forming cement and all that, when the cement sets, when something is formed, when you're determined, when your mind is made up. So that's what set is about. So when you bring mind plus set and you bring it together, it gives us the word mindset. And it talks about formed intellect. Mindset is your formed intellect. What you formed already, what is set. And your mindset is really important. Your mindset goes a long way in determining how your 2024 will come out for you, right? Your mindset is a mental attitude, that determines how you view the world, determines how you interpret the world, determines how you respond to situations. Somebody can step on you now and then you just flare up, but that same person can step on somebody else and just push it aside. So your mindset is what makes you respond that way. Your mindset, has to do with your beliefs, has to do with your values, your disposition, you acting in a particular way. Your mindset, is your way of thinking. Your mindset involves how you form opinion about things. It's a set of beliefs that shapes how you see the world. Your mindset shapes how you see yourself. Your mindset affects your attitude, and then your attitude will contribute towards your behavior. And then when your attitude contributes towards your behavior, it determines your course of action that you will take. And then when that determines your course of action, it then falls on whether you'll be successful or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be a failure. Everything begins with your mindset. So how is 2024 going to be for you? That question will be answered based on the kind of mindset that you have. Okay, so we have the fixed mindset and we have the growth mindset. Those are basically the two types of mindsets, that are in existence. The fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset, Carol Dweck is a psychologist in Stanford University, and she says this about the fixed and the growth mindset, that the fixed mindset is one that someone possesses and believes that traits and her abilities cannot be changed. That whatever intelligence that she has now, whatever traits that she has now is enough. I don't have to put in any more efforts. Whatever intelligence I have now, whatever I can do now, that is what I can do. I cannot do more than what I'm doing presently. That is somebody with a fixed mindset. When you think like that, you have a fixed mindset, right? Somebody with a growth mindset says, my talents, my traits, my intelligence can be improved upon over time. Yes. With efforts, with assistance, I can get better at whatever I'm doing. That's somebody with a growth mindset. Somebody that says that failure is an opportunity for me to grow. That person has a growth mindset. But somebody with a fixed mindset says failure is the limit of my abilities. I cannot just go beyond this. That's someone with a fixed mindset. So let's take a look at this table to help us understand the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So somebody with a fixed mindset says, either I'm good at it or I'm not. There is no two way. I'm either good or I'm not good. Or somebody with a growth mindset says, I can learn to do anything I want to do. Okay, so maybe I'm a chef, right? And there's a particular way of cooking, let's say, edikaikon soup, right? And you know this. You know that you have to get the 2 kinds of vegetable to cook your edikaikon. You need palm oil, you need some other stuffs, protein into your vegetable to make it nice. So that is a particular way of cooking it. And then somebody comes to you and says, okay, there's a better way of cooking the same edikaikon soup that it will come out even finer and better than what you know already. The person with a fixed mindset says, this is the way my mother taught me. That's the way I'm going to be at. I'm not learning anything more. But the person with a growth mindset says, okay, oh, you mean, oh, really? Oh my goodness, come teach me about it. I want to know more. I want to cook my edikaikon in a better way. Yeah. Somebody with a growth mindset says that. So what kind of a mindset do you have? Are you ready to learn, to explore? Or you want to stay where you are? If you are a person with a fixed mindset, you're already laying the foundation, for your 2024. Already. The fixed mindset says, that's just who I am. I can't change it. Take me like that. But the person with a growth mindset says, I am a constantly evolving work in progress. I'm not there yet. Exercise patience with me. The person with the fixed one says, whether you like it or not, that's your business. That's who I am. I can't change. Fixed mindset says, if you must work hard, you don't have the ability. Why do you need to work hard? That means you can't do it. I don't have time for that. No. But the person with a growth mindset says, the more I challenge myself, the smarter I become. So you are always looking for things to do. You are always giving yourselves goals and tasks and plans. And then when you meet your goals, you set more goals for yourself. That's a growth mindset. But the person that has a fixed mindset sets goals and does not even set them, to be big enough. Set the goals, and then once the goal is met, the person just stops. No. To have a better 2024, you have to do better than that, right? The person with a fixed mindset says, if I don't try, then I won't fail. If I don't try, then I won't fail. The person with a growth mindset says, I only fail when I stop trying. I remember when I was in school back then, for my first degree. I have a background in accounting. And when I was about finishing school, then I said to myself, I will make sure that I don't fail at anything. I mustn't fail at anything. I didn't know that I was actually setting myself up for failure. Because if you don't fail, that means you're not trying enough. That means you're not trying at all. Look at Thomas Edison. He said, I have not failed. I have only found 10,000 ways of how it won't work. Man, that was somebody that failed 10,000 times. He said, I have not failed. I have only found 10,000 ways of how it will work. Dale Carnegie said, disappointment and failures are the 2 sure stepping stones to success. I will take that again. Disappointment and failures are the 2 sure stepping stones to success. If you tell me you have never failed before, I will tell you that you have never tried at anything. You have not stepped out to do something worth doing. That is why you have not failed. So, to have a better year in 2024, be ready to fail. Because when you fail, you are learning. When you fail, don't fail backwards. Fail forward, right? I could go in deeper into that, but because of time. The fixed mindset says that job position is still out of my league. But the person with a growth mindset says that job position looks challenging. Let me apply for it. It looks challenging. Let me see what I can do. But the person with a fixed mindset is like, no. That is, okay, let me bring this up here now. Now, this is the first time that I am doing something like this on my own, right? When I say doing something like this on my own, I'm saying that I have not gone out of my way before to say I want to share what I know via video, I prefer doing something behind the scene. And that was why I began the podcast. The podcast, you didn't need to see my face, But this, I knew I had to do it. It was something that I needed to do. And you see, all those all those I'll be right back that I was doing at the onset when I first started, it was just me trying to stabilize myself, So I'll say that what I'm doing right now is totally not me. It's out of my league. But because I know that I have a growth mindset, I knew I needed to do this thing. And so I stepped out of my comfort zone. Right? For you to be better than you were before, you need to step out of your comfort zone. There are some things that you know that you must do. You know of the truth that you must do this thing. But you're like, what will people say? You are afraid, or you're scared, or you're like, no. Step out and do it. Be like me, right? So let us look at the sentences. I'm going to throw 6 sentences at you, and I can see somebody dropped something in the chat already. I will be checking that later. Or you can also drop your response to this also in the chat. So sentence number 1 says, I am born with a certain amount of intelligence, and it isn't something that I can change. Where does that fall? Is it somebody that has a fixed mindset that will say that, or somebody that has a growth mindset? I am born with a certain amount of intelligence, and it is not something that I can change. That's just who I am. Another person says, no matter how much I try, there isn't much I can do to improve my basic abilities and personality. I can't do much, no matter what I do. Another person says, people can change who they are. They can change. People can change. Another person says, I can learn new things and improve my intelligence. I can learn new things. In fact, saying it, I can learn new things. It just expands my mind. It broadens my mind. I can learn new things and improve my intelligence. Another person says, people either have talent or they don't. If you have it, you have it. If you don't have it, forget it. I can't just acquire talent for things like music, writing, art, or athletics. I can't learn a new language. I can't learn I can't learn a new skills. I can't learn new skills. No. People either have talent or they don't. Somebody is thinking like that. Another person says, studying, working hard, and practicing new skills are all ways to develop new talents and abilities. So, somebody with a fixed mindset will go with sentence 1. We'll go with sentence 2, and then we'll go with sentence 5. Somebody with a fixed mindset. Somebody with a growth mindset will go with sentences 3, 4, and 6. And that's about mindset. Your mindset goes a long way in determining how far you will go in life, really. And you can retrain your mindset. You can rework your mindset. It's something that you can change. Yeah, that's part of having a growth mindset, right? Now, the next thing is your life plans. Where are you in life? Where are you in life? Are you single or you are married? If you are single, are you done with the basic level of school? When I say basic level, do you have your first degree already as a single person? What are your drives? What drives you? What are you looking at? What are you making of your life? As a married person, what are you doing with your life? Are you working? Or are you at home? Do you have life plans? Do you have things that you want to do? So you need to sit down and plan your life. Nobody will plan your life for you. Whether you like it or not, another year has ended. Another year is about to start. What did you achieve in 2023? What were you looking at becoming in 2023? Are you 23 years old? Are you 43 years old? Are you 53 years old? Are you 63 years old? Whichever year you have, you are. What did you plan to be at that particular time? So this is it. Wherever you are now, just pick up a pen and a paper and you start. Anytime you wake up is your morning, right? So you make up your mind, you begin to plan your life. 5-year life plan, 10 years life plan, 20 years life plan, 50 years life plan. By the time I am so age, by the time I'm 28 years old, I want to have, if you are not married, I want to have gotten married. I must have had 2 kids, maybe married, have 2 kids. You want to be an entrepreneur, I must have begun my business. If you are working somewhere, I must have been on this level, career, in the career world. By the time I'm 45, I should have achieved this, attained this. So you want to look at your life holistically. In talking about life plans, you look at your life total. So as the year is about to end now, and we're about to begin a new year, you want to sit down and look at your age and say, okay, I want to add 5 years to my age. I want to add, okay, so you begin from 5 years and then you finish 5 years. If you're a single person, when are you getting married? What kind of work do you want to do? If you want to be a career person, you want to be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, what kind of business do you want to do? Where do you want to be in life by the time you are so age? When you finish your 5-year plan, you now do 15-year plan, or you do 20 years plan, and then you can now do 35 years plan, such that if you are 15 years today and you're looking at me, and then we say, okay, you do the 5, the 15, the 35. You want to say by the time you're 50, if you're 15 now, 35-year plan, by the time you're 50, depending on when you got married, you might say you want to maybe have 1 grandchild. I should have had 1 grandchild by then, or maybe you say, okay, maybe at 60, you should have had your grandchildren, you should maybe retire, you should have retired. But if you don't put these things into plans, if you don't write them out, you will discover that the year will just start coming and going. So you really have to be intentional about the way you live your life. I know of a particular person that said, okay, by the time I'm 40, I want to begin to travel around and begin to speak on a global scale. And the moment that person was 40, that person began to travel around. I'm speaking on a global scale. The good book says, write it down, make it plain, that the person that sees it may run with it. You don't live your life haphazardly. You need to put it down on paper. Let it be clear. You can even paste it somewhere in your room. You can have a vision board. There are apps. You can have a vision board on your phone. Oh my! You can have a vision board on your phone. You look at those things specifically. You look at it. The good book says that our names are inscribed in the hands of God. So even God is looking at us every day. That's the thing about visibility. Writing things down and looking at it, it brings it to the fore for you, and it makes situation and circumstances to work together for you to help you accomplish that which you want. You have to write it down. And before I move on, from this life plan, I'll move on to the next thing. Let me add this. Let me drop this. That if you're listening to me today and you are not married and you are of a marriageable age, I think you should think about settling down quickly, because anytime you get married, just add 20-25 years to it and you're still paying school fees, right? So if you are married if you're not married yet and you are 30, that means for the next 20 years until you are 50, you are paying school fees. If you are 35 and you add 20 years until you are 55, you are still paying school fees. So you need to put things in perspectives to help you understand how you make some decisions. Moving on. Look at relationships. Are you set for 2024? That is what we're talking about. We began with the mindset. We moved on to life plans, and now we are relationships. Are your relationships healthy? Are they healthy? Do they lift you, or they leave you depressed? What kind of a relationship do you have? Are they draining you? Relationships, friends, families, do they leave you drained, or they leave you strengthened, strong, happy, or they make you sad? You know, you get in touch with some people, and by the time they are leaving you, you are drained, you are weak. You don't need those kind of people in your life in 2024. Stop being sentimental and stop being emotional. Where has it gotten you? No, think about it. No, think about it. Where has it gotten you? You know, I heard from Kim. Kim said one day, he said, we allow into our bedrooms people that should be in the balcony. In other words, we allow, your bedroom is your safe space, your inner caucus, your inner space. So we allow into our inner spaces people that should be in the balcony of our lives, people that should be outside, we bring them in, all because of emotions and sentiments. No. You know, I feel I'm speaking to somebody. Right? So, as you get set for 2024, you want to pick up your phone and look at the names. In fact, I'm sure there are some names that you have not even called at all this year. Remove them to create space for fresh relationships that will lift you up, that will cheer you, that will make you happy, that will give you strength, that will make you strong. Those are the kind of relationships that you need in 2024. Man, going through life itself takes a lot of energy. Not having people around you that pull you down. No, you don't need such people around you. You don't. So now, let me tell you about 4 types of friends. I didn't say enemies. I say friends. These people appear to you as your friend. People that divide, people that subtract, people that add to you, and people that multiply you. Let's take them one by one. And we're almost done with today's episode of Sense and Sensibility. The friends that divide. Have you noticed that, okay, this is really distracting. Let me just open it and close it, and then, okay. Yeah, now we have that. Now, some people are your friend. They come to you, and the first thing that they notice about you is that something is wrong with your hair, or something is wrong with the clothes you are wearing, or something is wrong with your makeup. Say, why is your hair like this? Why is your nose like that? Why is your skirt like that? They are always seeing something bad about you. My dear, why do you think you should have somebody like that in your life? Somebody that once they leave you, your esteem is just crashed. It's not even low. It is totally crashed. People that divide you, you don't need them. You don't need such friends in your life. People that will come to you and say, why is your slippers looking like this? Why is your shoe looking like that? This is your skirt suit. I don't know. Why did you wear this color today? No, you don't need such people. They themselves, they need help. They need help. And then that's why some of us, we allow what people say to get to us. No, do not allow what people say get to you. Consider that it is not personal. It's not personal at all. They are just talking. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your person. It has nothing to do with your esteem. No. They are the ones that have issues. They are the ones that have problems. So do not, somebody said that no one can make you feel inferior without your permission. They are the ones, you have given them permission to make you feel inferior. because you allow them. They said it, but you didn't have to accept it. You didn't have to receive it, right? They say it is their mouth, they can speak, but you consider, you determine how you respond or react to whatever they're saying. Why did you wear this kind of a skirt suit? Oh, what's wrong with it? The color, I'm not feeling it. Oh man, I am feeling it. I felt it. You know, when I got dressed this morning and I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh more low find over here. This is the babe, this pretty girl, you know. By the time you do that to them like 2, 3, 4 times, they will understand that when they are coming to you, they don't talk you down. Anyone that talks you down, you don't need them in your life. Next is the friends that subtract. These are friends that they are scorpions. That's just it. They will come before you. They will say nice things in front of you, but they go behind you and that's the way the scorpion is now. The scorpion has the eyes in front and the sting is at the back. The scorpion laughs with you, hugs you, shakes your hand, right? And then you think they are going and then they just sting you at the back. You don't need that kind of friend in your life. Anyone that backbites, anyone that tells you, that gossips with you about somebody else, will definitely gossip with somebody else about you. So stop it. When they are coming to you and they are talking to somebody else, have you heard? And this and that. You're like, I must stop it there. I don't want to talk about that. Because definitely they will go somewhere else and want to do that to you too. So the friends that divide, the friends that subtract, you don't need them in your life in 2024. No. The kind of friends you need in your life in 2024 are the ones that add to you. The ones that lift you up. The one that sees your hair in a particular when they're like, babe, what is going on? As they are talking, they are using their hand to, just tuck it up and put it into place. How are you today? Are you good? What's going on? How far with business? They're not critiquing your body at first, and then we need to balance it because there are some people there's a particular name for those people. I cannot remember it right now. Those people, they must not see something out of place. If they don't touch it, their body will not be okay. Every T must be crossed, every I must be dotted. Those kind of people, that one too is extreme, right? But people that makes you feel good, you want to be around those people. People that when you're done being around them, you just feel good on your way home. You think about your time together and then you're smiling. And people are smiling, why are you smiling? You don't smiling. I just remember what somebody said. I just remember what so said. I remember those are the people that you want around you. Those are the people that you want. Like I told you, going through life alone on its own takes a lot of energy. You don't need friends that drain you in your life. You need friends that will add to you, that will give you strength. And the best kind of friends that you need are those that multiply. 2 plus 2 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4. Fine. But 3 plus 3 is 6, but 3 times 3 is 9. 4 plus 4 is 8, but 4 times 4 is 16. Yes. 10 plus 10 is 20. But 10 times 10 is 100. Can you see? That's 20 to 100. So yeah, it's good to have friends that add to your life here, but the best kind of friends to have are those that multiply, those that gives you increase. Thank you. Friends that just jack you up like that. They just take you to the next level. And 2024 is a leap year. So you want to have relationships, associations, right? That will give you this quantum leaps. That will give you this gigantic leaps. That will help you achieve in 1 month what you couldn't have achieved in 3 months. Relationships can do that. Relationships. So you want to focus. You want to be intentional. I was in a meeting yesterday and I was discussing with someone and we were talking about this relationship matter. How that one relationship can catapult you way beyond your imagination. 1. Another word for the multipliers that, is what they call destiny helpers, bridge builders. People that will build a bridge for you from here to, how can you jump from here to there? But they are there to help you build a bridge, and then you walk over. So you want to be intentional about your relationships in 2024. Next thing I want to look at, and I said it's 5. So we've spoken about mindset, we've spoken about, we just finished on relationships, we've spoken about, what was the other one now? Life plans. So now we're going into finance. They said no romance without finance. Yeah, that's true. But also no life without finance. If you don't have money, I don't think you can have a life. I'm telling you. So are you financially literate? Do you know the mark of money? I'm from the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. Nigeria is a country in the west of Africa. And we have the saying, Shomo ila towoko. Do you know the mark that money has? Are you financially literate? Do you know how to make money? Do you know how to manage money? Do you know how to multiply money? Do you know how to take care of money? Do you know how to make money gravitate towards you? Do you have a saving culture? Do you know how to save? Or you just know how to spend? If you know how to spend, you know how to make the money back. When you make the money, do you know how to manage it in order to multiply it? Or do you want to remain at the same bus stop of, give me a quick 2K there, give me a quick 2K there, give me a quick 5K there? For how long do you want to do that? As you get set for 2024, you need to make up your mind that you want to know how to make money. You want to have money in your bank account. You want to have money for yourself. You want to have savings. You want to have investments. The people who are having it, they don't have 2 heads. Yes, they don't have 2 heads. So you need to practice the 70-10-10-10 principle. What is the 70-10-10-10 principle? So people call it the 80-20 principle, 70-30 principle, 60-40 principle. But I'm going to tell you about the 70-10-10-10 principle now. When any money comes into your hand, the first thing you do is you remove your 10%. You give your tithe, right? You give your tithe. The tithe is the one that you must not eat. Even the Muslims to give, they call it, I think it's zakat or sadaqah, something like that. They give alms, charity. So once money comes into your hand, you remove 10% and give it to God. Give your tithes, right? I can hear somebody saying, look at Denike, 100% is not even enough for me. And she's asking me to give 10%. Look, even if you don't give 10%, none can be enough. None will be enough for you, right? None will be enough for you. It is a culture that you have to develop. You have to train yourself into it. It's a culture that you have to develop. So you have to practice that. You give your 10%. Then the next 10%, you put it in a savings account. You put the next 10% in a savings account. Any money what I do, so monthly, I put money aside. Some people do 10, some people do 20, some people do 30, 40, whatever works for you. So I give my 10% and then I put money into savings. And then when any money comes into my hand that I'm not even expecting, maybe somebody looks at me and just dashes me money, I just see money in my account. That money, I put it in my savings account because I was not expecting it. I didn't have any plan for it. But when the money I'm expecting comes, of course, because I'm expecting it, I use it for what I was expecting it for. But when the money I'm not expecting comes into my hand, I put it in my savings. And then it accumulates. And over time, when it becomes something tangible, I carry it for investment. Don't keep money in your savings account because it is depreciating. Sorry, it's not depreciating. It is assets that depreciates. But inflation will mess up that money for you in your account. So once the money is sizable in your savings, gather it and pour it into investments. Get somebody who is wise in that area to help you handle that. You can buy shares, you can buy stocks, so many things you can do. The remaining 10%, you can use that to take care of yourself. Take yourself out to eatery or buy a book to read or something. That one is for you. Yeah. And now the bulk of the money, that 70%, you can use that to take care of your daily needs. You want to pay house rent, you want to go to school, you want to buy clothes, that's what that 70% is for. So once you start that, you begin to have funds. You don't have to be calling somebody to be giving you, to send you money. No. Just have something doing. And once money comes into your hand, okay? So you have to be financially literate. In 2024, you have to do better than you're doing right now. And then spirituality. Where are you in your spirituality? So this is the final phase. Thank you so much for staying with me today. Let's talk about this and then it's a wrap. Your spirituality. Where are you in your spirituality? Someone said you are either in the secret place or secret cults. Everyone is using something. There's something going on right now, about some people in America, don't want to mention names. And I'm asking, must you be in a particular cult before you can blow? Can't you just stay with God, stick to God, and do right by God? God is the one that lifts. So your spirituality, where are you? Where are you? Everyone is using something. I tell you, everybody is using something. You are either in the secret cult or in the secret place. But that does not mean that you must now begin to use God. You cannot use God. I say that repeatedly. I say it consistently. You cannot use God. No. What you need to do is to develop a relationship with God. Let Him be your friend. Be a friend of God. Abraham was a friend of God. Be a friend of God. Talk to God regularly. Let Him talk to you through His word. Even one-on-one, God can speak to you. So develop a relationship with God. Get close to God. Don't go to God alone when you are in trouble. Don't go to God alone when you need help. Go to God. Not because of what He will give to you, but because you just love Him. Just stay with Him. Just love on Him. Just be there with Him. And then when the time comes when you now need His help, of course, you discuss with Him and He's ready to help you out. So, as you get set to get into 2024, you want to make up your mind that you want to read your Bible consistently. You want to fast at least once in a week. You want to pray regularly. You need to have a prayer bank. I'll probably talk about that on other episodes or editions of Sense and Sensibility. You need to have a prayer bank. Because there are times when issues will come your way in life that to pray will hurt you. You will not be able to pray. It is the prayers that you've prayed in time past that will now come to work for you. So, thank you so much for staying with me today on Sense and Sensibility. Are you set for 2024? We've spoken about your mindset. We've spoken about your life plans. We've spoken about your relationships. We've spoken about your finance and spoken about your spirituality. Those 5 items, I can assure you that if you can get it right in those 5 areas in your life as you get ready for 2024, you'll be amazed what song you'll be singing by the end of the year. You will be amazed. So, 2024 is an open book. What will you make of it? What will you write into it? Will you make it a bestseller? Time will tell. Anyway, let me tell you about some programs that we have in 2024. So we have, I'm the founder and present president of Opolo Ati Ewa Women Empowerment Initiative. And in the month of January, we'll be having our Ignite boardroom chat. It's really a boardroom chat. So we come together with experts, who come talk to us on starting the year on a full scale. And that's why it's called Ignite. We meet together to come be ignited for the start of the year. This January, we're looking at Get Set, Aim Higher. And the person speaking to us is GT Wenga Totoi. He is a thought leader, in the industry, and it's an event you should plan to be a part of. The fee is just 30,000 naira only. 30,000 naira only, and you can get in touch with us via those numbers on the screen: 0809 639 4774 or 0802 757 2166. So the Ignite is coming up on the 14th of January, and then we have Sense and Sensibility 1.0. That's an event where we're going to come together for a whole day. We're going to have speakers speak to us, about 4 speakers speak to us, and then when we're done, we'll go to the spa to go have a nice time. We'll go to the sauna to go have a nice time. Then we'll go for buffet lunch and buffet dinner. And it's coming up in the month of April on the 27th in 2024. You can also get in touch with us via those numbers to know more about that. So my website is adenikeoemmanuel.com. You can send us email at s2@adenikeoemmanuel.com. Instagram, you can check me out on Denike the Confidence Expert and Adenike Seller. I have 2 Instagram accounts. And of course, those are the phone numbers. And like I said, that if it makes sense, it must be sensible. I want to say a big thank you today for joining me on Sense and Sensibility with Denike. The next time we'll be having the physical meeting, will be the last Friday in the month of January, and that is January 26th. I look forward to seeing you then. But of course, every week, every Friday, you'll be having me on podcasts. I hope you are connected to my podcast already. If you're not, I'll share the link on my social media spaces. So thank you so much for being here today. Being amazing. Okay, so someone is asking a question. Please, can you cite some practical steps of how you prevent what people are saying from getting to you? Okay. Yeah. So, yes, we can do that. And I don't know, maybe some questions on Facebook already, because I'm also hearing this on Facebook. If I cannot take your questions on Facebook, I will answer them later. But some practical steps on how you can stop what people say from getting to you has to do with your mindset. That was why I began with the mindset. If you can get your mindset right, a lot of things will fall in place. Number 1, go back and listen to what I said about the mindset, right? But then number 1, you need to realize that you are enough as a person. And I want you to say to yourself, I am enough. I am enough. I'm enough as a person. You need to understand the fact that you are enough just the way you are. What somebody says will not add to you. What somebody says will not deduct from who you are. You are enough as a person. That's number 1. Then number 2, you need to understand that nobody has the right to make you feel lesser than you feel. It still has to do with your mindset. No one. Somebody who makes you feel that way, number 1, will be somebody who is insecure. And then they are now projecting their insecurity on you. And because you too, you do not know yourself, you now begin to feel insecure. And then what they say begins to hurt you. Right? So you need to know that you're enough. You need to know that nobody can make you feel lesser than the way you feel. And you also need to understand that this is you and you are complete. Do not allow somebody else's opinion, somebody else's thoughts to make you think lesser of yourself. It all boils down to your mindset. I am enough. I am okay. What she has said, what he has said, doesn't matter. It doesn't make me or translate into who I am. I am enough. I am enough. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am an okay person. And that's just it. So you have to make up your mind that what they are saying will not get to you. And it won't happen all at once. It's going to be a gradual process, gradual steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. You need to pull yourself away from their opinions. You need to pull yourself away. It's a mental thing. It's a mind thing. You need to pull yourself away. You have to do it intentionally. So they come to you. Maybe you are in church and when you were leaving the house that day, you felt like, oh my goodness, I'm looking so good. I'm looking elegant. And then they come and meet you after service in church and say, this is your gown. Can't you see that it's not okay? The first instinct will be for you to just be deflated, like a balloon, that was pinned, just be deflated. That will be your usual response. But when they come again, that's that your gown is not okay. Oh, really? Oh, what's wrong with it? Can't you see? What is wrong with it? They might not even have something to say. There is nothing wrong with it. They just want to speak. They want to hear their own voices or their own voice, right? What is wrong with it? I just feel that it's not okay. I just feel that. Now, in your own mind, you're like, okay, you just feel that it's not okay. Well, that's your opinion. I love what I'm wearing and I feel good in it. I love what I'm wearing and I feel good in it. Once they come and talk you down, you let them know that they cannot talk you down. As a matter of fact, you can say to them, come on, I don't need you speaking to me that way. It's not nice. I don't like it. Many a times we keep quiet. We just take it in, right? We take it in and then we go and mock somewhere. No, you tell them, I don't like you speaking to me like this. It's not okay for me. If we're going to continue to be friends, you have to speak me up. Don't speak me down. And then as time goes on, they begin to understand you. And if they don't understand you, that means they don't have to be your friend. That means they are not worth your while. They are not worth your time. You don't need people that bring you down around you. No. You need people that lift you up. People that strengthen you. People that gives you grace. Those are the people that you need around you. Okay, so till I come your way again, same time in 4 weeks' time, that is on the 26th of January 2024, I want you to know that if it makes sense, it is sensible. Thank you so much for joining me today on Sense and Sensibility. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
See you. You're welcome. Bye.